Hello, friend. You're on the American Stories channel. Here, real-life love stories come alive, amazing, touching, and sincere. Every story is a journey into a world of love, hope, and self-discovery. Dive into our tales, and maybe you'll find a piece of your own life in them. If you enjoy our stories, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Your support inspires us to share even more amazing stories. Mike Bransfield stepped into Atlantic Trust's marble-clad lobby with the cautious breath of a first-time climber edging toward a cliff. LED walls flickered jagged risk curves, security scanners pinged like distant sonar. Seattle lay 3 time zones behind, yet his pulse raced ahead. If this 2-day conference went well, the promotion he craved at Harbor Bank might shift from rumor to fact. A royal blue ribbon swung against his chest. Welcome, it read, but the badge felt heavier than its plastic shell. He rehearsed an icebreaker about machine learning stress tests, lost it, tried again. Then Emily Carter glided out of a glass elevator as if inventing gravity. Walnut hair, graphite suit, purposeful stride, the project manager every trade blog quoted. Map in hand, Mike spun twice, missing the sign for Hudson Hull. Emily paused. Lost? She asked, Midwestern warmth wrapped in Chicago consonants. He nodded. She guided him through corridors whose carpets hushed the click of her heels. At the door the timer glowed 0:45. Gratitude flooded him, but Jason Reed, marketing prodigy and resident jester, claimed her elbow. A wink, a wave, and she vanished. The keynote blurred, Basel IV carve-outs, SEC whispers, synthetic CDX spreads, but one laugh floated above the algorithmic drone, Emily's, bright as a bell. Afterward Vice President Linda Holt cornered Mike. The bank, she hinted, sought visionaries for Titan Shield, a next-gen risk platform. Show me bold, she said, pressing a workshop schedule into his palm. Night draped Midtown in velvet stitched with neon. A jazz quartet coaxed executives toward charity tables, champagne flutes chimed. Mike searched the crowd until recognition flared, Emily chatting with Jason and PR chief Sarah Clark. He advanced, the auctioneer barked, bodies swirled. When the tide receded, only a lipstick-kissed card lay on linen. He pocketed it, heart-hammering a vow, tomorrow, no missed chances. From room 1824 at Mariner Plaza he watched subway sparks ripple along iron arteries. Weighing a midnight text, he surrendered to caution and slid the card between notebook pages. Outside, sirens wailed, inside, hope kept cadence. A watercolor of the Brooklyn Bridge above the radiator seemed to lean forward, daring him to cross unseen spans. You've come this far, don't freeze now, he whispered. The clock read 1:17, digits pulsing like a heartbeat. He typed 3 sentences to Emily, deleted them, typed 2 more, saved a draft titled Future Unknown. Exhaustion finally bargained with excitement, dragging him toward sleep, yet somewhere between wake and dream he pictured greeting dawn together. He dreamed of LED graphs turning into constellations, of hushed corridors uncoiling into garden paths, of a stranger's smile becoming a lighthouse. As the city hummed beneath the window pane, he felt the moment stretch like a taut string awaiting a brave note. If courage and coincidence could meet at sunrise, perhaps so could 2 hearts. Soft. Before dawn painted the East River pink, Mike jolted awake, adrenaline posing as an alarm. By 7:50 he was in the Madison room, a circular setup forcing eye contact. Emily had not arrived, cold prickled beneath his cuffs. Teams drew a liquidity crisis case for Harbor Federal. Tom Burnett from Dallas scoffed at Mike's initial ratios. At 8:06 Emily slipped in, tablet under arm, her presence lowering the room's volume by half. Mike proposed a blended flow-and spread model with an ML stress layer, Emily translated it into boardroom language. Linda Holt nodded approval, Tom muttered. Coffee break, the 45th floor terrace smelled of Atlantic salt. Mike offered 2 paper cups. Banter about aggressive spell check morphed into grief. Emily's father, a career soldier, had died last year. Mike's older brother had lost everything during the 2008 crash. Wind teased their cups like nervous fingers. Jason Reed appeared, inviting Emily to a fintech lunch. She hesitated, glanced at Mike, then followed duty. Jealousy scorched him. Inside, Linda whispered management wanted a private briefing. Her eyes carried a warning that Triumph's invoice futures. The Pier 12 restaurant cantilevered above Amber Hudson water. Fintech founders, Jason, Sarah Clark, and Emily lined the table. Mike joined as technical advisor, and silent admirer. Jason's charisma splashed like soda, Emily's facts anchored the deck. When load-balancing risk arose, Mike compared payment spikes to Brooklyn Bridge traffic, offering tiered gates. Founders leaned in. Sarah whispered, "Details win." Yet in the lobby Jason draped an arm over Emily's shoulders, an invisible wire hummed between the men. Later a simulation pitted Mike Emily against Jason Tom. Their synergy solved bond market chaos with seconds spare, winning thunderous applause. The duet felt like a first shared breath, an omen. Dawn the next day greeted Midtown rose gold. At 8:00 Mike faced directors Grace Anderson, Mark Davis, and Neil Fletcher for Titan Shield vetting. Midway Neil revealed a spreadsheet bearing Mike's name yet brimming with errors, Jason's overnight swap. Mike rebuilt the model live, exposing Sabotage in 7 tense minutes. Linda praised his composure. Sarah later slipped him a note, "Jason copied your flash drive." Only 2 finalists remained, Mike and Jason. That night on a rain-swept terrace Emily apologized for missed texts, Jason kept steering talk personal. Wind whipped her hair, Mike tucked a strand behind her ear. Phone rang, drop Titan or burn. Thunder answered. They ran laughing for shelter, laughter a ceasefire before war. Lightning stitched the skyline, each flash illuminated risks. Mike drafted contingency diagrams, Emily drafted courage. At 3 o'clock they exchanged a single message, "Still awake." And the truth of simultaneous insomnia folded them closer than any corridor conversation could. Outside, taxi horns marked time. Inside, their hearts rehearsed for battles the sun would soon reveal. Yet. Rain claimed the city, but inside Atlantic Trust the air felt electrically dry. Final rounds for Project Titan Shield began at 10 o'clock. Jason dazzled first, sleek slides, punchline anecdotes, yet Mike recognized a duplicated Monte Carlo curve masking risk. Emily, seated with auditors, caught his eye, silently confirming suspicion. Mike's turn, he opened plain white slides, live-coding assumptions. Midway, a pop-up flashed on the main screen, data falsified, see USB. Gasps rippled. Linda paused the clock, auditors inspected Sarah Clark's flash drive containing untouched logs. Tampering traced back to Jason's credentials. The board reconvened. Mike walked them through validated code, overlaying transparent inputs. 40 minutes later Grace Anderson announced, Titan Shield Award goes to Michael Bransfield. Applause thundered, Jason received suspension paperwork. Evening draped Rockefeller Plaza in silver rain. Mike and Emily shared a bench by the fountain, umbrellas pitched like opposing sails. "I only want to celebrate with you," he said, voice raw. "Only if we stay honest," she answered. Fingers intertwined, they outlined modest dreams, her mom's mortgage cleared, his scholarship fund for underrepresented analysts. Next week became a blur of interviews, subpoenas, and security sweeps. Jason vanished. Mike fronted press briefings, Emily orchestrated cross-team audits. Near midnight Wednesday they met in a dim server room collecting disk images. The intimacy startled them. A gentle brush of knuckles, then a lingering clasp, quiet contract sealed without ink. An envelope slid under the door, a Polaroid of their rooftop kiss and the scrawled threat, "We are watching." Emily's composure cracked, Mike's protective instinct surged. They called in Alex Connor, her college friend turned white hat hacker. "Meet tomorrow, York Street Station," codeword Bishop. Subway tunnels smelled of wet steel. Alex, laptop unbranded, traced a rootkit tagged JR05 inside Titan QA servers. They planted a honeypot. Midnight, alert triggered, Jason's user ID, geolock pointed to Brooklyn docks. A desperate chase through container mazes ended with a speedboat explosion. Smoke billowed, identity unconfirmed. Squad lights painted water blue. Morning headlines screamed harbor hack drama. Investors panicked. Mike proposed radical transparency, opened the entire Titan code on GitHub. Risky, but trust must outrun rumor. Grace hesitated, market slid, Emily's steady gaze tipped the scale. Repository launched at noon, global devs probed and applauded. Professor Laura Keane tweeted, code clean, innovative. Shares rebounded. That night Alex intercepted a Trojan pushing rogue patch sign JR05, the Mac traced to Jason's laptop. The ghost was alive. City lights flickered like faulty servers, yet between them flared unwavering resolve. Under starlight filtered through rain haze, they vowed to defend the platform, each other, an idea that sunlight, not secrecy, secures tomorrow. Transparency came at a cost, wave after wave of intrusion attempts battered Titan's public repo. Alex slept in 90-minute intervals, eyes wired to log dashboards. Emily drove comms, releasing nightly bulletins, Mike balanced code reviews with endless stakeholder calls. Sleep debt grew compound interest. Grace Anderson wanted Titan fully certified before quarter end. Independent assessor Keane demanded on-prem verification, dragging bulky scanners into Atlantic Trust sub-basements. There, among chilled racks, Mike discovered a cable splice feeding unknown traffic. Alex traced it upward, to a conference room switch left unsecured the night of Jason's suspension. Security footage showed a hooded figure, timestamped 2 hours after Jason's pass was deactivated. Facial recognition inconclusive. The board feared an inside accomplice. Linda formed a Tiger team, Mike, Emily, Alex, and Sarah Clark. Deadline, 72 hours. They split tasks. Emily mapped human access paths, Sarah audited email headers, Alex scraped dark web chatter, Mike dove into packet captures. Clues converged on a hidden SFTP node leased under shell company Poseidon Logistics. Hoy's data led to a Brooklyn warehouse, coincidentally the same docks that had erupted. Friday 22:54 they breached the warehouse with corporate security. No gunmen, just racks of servers humming like bees. On a wall hung Jason's conference badge pierced by a fishing hook. Symbol or taunt? Drives imaged, RAID arrays dismantled. Among configs, Alex found a chess database labeled Kingscage containing thousands of employee passwords hashcracked. Back at HQ, Emily collapsed at her desk. Mike brewed bitter drip coffee and draped his jacket over her shoulders. She stirred, half awake, when this ends, promise we'll take one whole day without screens. He promised, fingers brushing freckles on her forearm. Saturday dawned violet. An emergency board meeting debated Titan's fate. Conservatives pushed to mothball, progressives argued withdrawal signaled weakness. Mike delivered a calm, data-rich plea, shuttering now equals surrender. Emily added human stakes, small businesses relying on real-time credit nets. Vote split until Grace abstained, flipping balance toward survival. Journalists camped outside. Rumors of SEC investigation spiraled. In an impromptu press huddle, Emily spoke, security is an evolving dialogue, not a sealed vault. Her clarity trended within minutes, buying time. That night, finally alone, Mike and Emily shared takeout noodles atop the empty trading floor. Screensaver galaxies drifted across wall-sized LEDs. If the stars can recycle chaos into order, she mused, so can we. They kissed amid artificial constellations. Outside, rain tapped glass like impatient investors. Laughter rose, fragile but genuine. They fell asleep at their terminals, dreaming of mornings when risk curves stayed flat. Sunday morning, Titan Shield's open repo hit 50,000 stars. Validation felt near, but Alex's IDS flagged a zero-day pivoting through outdated Jenkins plugins. Exploit signature matched Kingscage. Mike authorized an immediate shutdown window, 30 minutes to patch, or attackers might plant sleepers. During downtime, Jason's dormant Slack handle suddenly posted, closing time, heroes. GeoIP traced to an abandoned Midtown tower. Against protocol, Mike and Emily raced there with security chief Delgado. The suite was empty save a laptop streaming Titan's login screen and a chessboard mid-game, White King trapped by Black Bishop. Alex, on speaker, murmured, "He's toying with Zugzwang." Delgado severed the net cable, feed froze. The laptop auto-wiped, leaving only a text file, coordinates to Central Park, 2100 hours. Sunset painted the park copper. Crowds thinned beneath angelic marble. Jason, hood down, eyes rimmed red, waited. Emily stepped first. "It's over," she said. Jason replied, "Not until you prove me wrong." He demanded public credit for Titan's openness, Sabotage forced transparency. Voices rose, police advanced. Jason backed toward the fountain, dropped a resin-sealed flash drive into the water. Officers cuffed him, he laughed. Mike Dove, retrieving the drive. Back at HQ the resin melted under lab heat. Inside, audit logs of Jason's edits, annotated motives. He believed Titan needed a villain. Linda read the manifesto in silence, tears restrained. Grace confronted the paradox on camera, praising transparency yet condemning crime. Public sentiment warmed, Titan's stars surged. Analysts dubbed it the transparency doctrine. Monday the SEC arrived. Surprise, they praised openness, asking minor controls. Titan cleared. Celebration erupted, fatigue muted cheers. Emily rested on Mike's shoulder amid confetti. "One screen-free day," she reminded. He agreed. The couple rented a tiny rowboat on the Hudson, drifting beneath fairy lights. Emily skimmed water, declaring the river felt like fresh code after a merge. Mike laughed, saying each ripple was a pull request. They vowed to keep each other's changelog honest. Returning to shore, they bought pretzels, shared bites, and watched towers shimmer. Taxi horns stitched a lullaby through night air, and for once no siren chased their footsteps home. Titan's production launch date locked, May 2nd, 9 o'clock. 3 weeks of fortification remained. Linda authorized phased penetration tests, Alex coordinated red team drills. Emily managed stakeholder simulations, Mike authored resilience playbooks with sleep-deprived clarity. Jason awaited trial, but delays stretched. He wrote letters from Rikers, some apologetic, others cryptic chess puzzles. Emily parsed each for exploits, none found. Yet envelopes reopened bruises. One evening a courier delivered a small wooden rook to Mike's apartment. Its base hit a microSD reading, King takes rook at dawn. Alex deemed files outdated misdirection. Grace installed Faraday cages, cafeteria became war room. Amid chaos Mike and Emily preserved a ritual, 30-minute walks along the East River. One night she found the rook in his pocket. "Promise fear won't rewrite us," she said. He promised. Test week, red team breached via spearfish, blue isolated Vlans. Audits passed green Friday. Planetarium sleepover under digital galaxies followed. At 3:14 real alarms shrilled, Titan anomalous outbound traffic. They raced to HQ in pajamas. Logs pointed to Quartz network, Jason had no access. Someone framed him. Tracebacks led to Poseidon warehouse servers. SWAT found scorched boards and a Polaroid of Jason holding "Not My Move." Emily drafted a statement, Mike envisioned endgames where sacrifice buys tempo. Aurora, Mike, Emily, and Alex, seeded decoy JIRA tickets and hinted Titan might migrate west. Dark web chatter flared while bait led nowhere. Emily's mom visited with lasagna, joking firewalls beat guest lists. Kayaks around Governor's Island offered hush, gulls, briny spray, city static. Hope steadied. Back home a black pawn clung to the door beside rooftop coordinates for April 30th. Choice, engage. At 23:45 a.m. hooded figure demanded admin tokens, Emily offered open collaboration. Lasers pinned the scene, stranger tossed a tablet and fled. Screen looped, check, your move. Alex kept the pawn, intent on scanning it for any latent mark. Investigators ruled the warehouse hit mercenary work. Motive fuzzy, proof thin. Aurora pivoted to Intel, Sarah's playlists and Linda's espresso kept morale alive. Rogue 05 bragged online about an urban checkmate. Alex traced tar nodes to Queens. Stakeout nights, pizza steam fogged van windows while code scrolled like Skyline. Fourth night a courier uploaded dumps at a laundromat. Arrest followed, Rebecca North. Her brother's fintech failed after Titan Beta flagged liquidity risk, fueling revenge. Logic bomb set for May 2nd, 9:05 lived an obsolete logging module. Mike redirected payload to Sandbox, at 9:05 detonation printed, nice try. Ops floor roared. Jason, now cooperative, requested a chessboard in his cell. Evening roof meeting, Emily toasted resilience, Mike toasted knowing opponent from obstacle. Stars blinked, no alerts pinged, pretzel scent proved ordinary joy survived. Days later Titan's open source channel logged 1,000 pull requests, cleanup becoming a worldwide sprint. Grace launched a fellowship so seniors could harden banking code with Mike and Emily mentoring. Rebecca's trial drew cameras. Emily testified transparency saved investors, Mike said vendettas grow where dialogue fails. Judge gave 5 years. Outside, Emily told press, accountability is a two-player game. Summer settled into humid Fridays on the roof, grilled corn, jazz, threat intel. Alex printed audit me maybe stickers, they trended at DEF CON. 4th of July barges painted the river Titan blue, yes, Alex crowdsourced it. August cottage weekend, no Wi-Fi, cicadas, Cold Creek. They penciled book lines, Emily, trust is negotiated courage. Mike, fail fast, forgive faster. They returned carrying creek-smoothed stones as paperweights, talismans against storms. Each new risk report felt lighter beneath those humble weights always. Still. With Titan Live, focus shifted from defense to impact. Small business defaults fell 3%, media called it finance's vaccine. Grace ordered a roadshow. Emily mapped Chicago, Austin, San Francisco. Mike dreaded panels but agreed. In Austin he hid a ring in a brochure, Emily unfolded bullet points becoming diamonds and said yes. Wedding prep crashed into quarter close. Linda joked about filing an 8K on their merger. Alex coded a registry using Titan's API, noise-canceling headphones for high-alert households. October sunrise ceremony on the Brooklyn Bridge, 30 guests plus applauding joggers. Jason attended via tablet, gifting a vintage king. Grace officiated, citing SEC clauses as vows. 2-day Catskills honeymoon, no signal, pure stars. Emily admitted she still waited for breaches. Mike said, that's why we built alarms, and us. Titan got a federal tech metal nod, but botnet probes hit legacy TLS. Task force patched by 2:37. Dawn press call. Mike, security is a marriage. Trust rose. Life's quieter metrics ticked up, condo for Emily's mom, internship fund launched, board game salons where rook pieces stayed off the board. Snowy night under Washington Square Arch, flakes erased Titan logo Emily traced on Mike's coat. Nothing stays secure forever, she said. So we keep drawing, he replied. February brought a Senate hearing on open source risk. Rogue 05 threatened the 0-day. Emily testified while Mike demoed patched code, exploit hit obsolete commit, dubbed Rogue Oops. Trust climbed. March calm, they adopted Widget the rescue dog, whose tail shut laptops. Weekends held museum strolls and much book editing. At a hackathon they gifted Audit Me stickers, students merged playful patches. Secure lineage lived. February's audit cycle brought fresh scrutiny. Senate inquiry, encrypted threat, exploit patched, committee praised candor. Black walnut queen left on pillow, opposite queen, next move yours. They instituted resilience workshops and mandatory vacations. Spring lull felt odd, book deal signed. May 1st gala, Jason's chessboard of crowned kings, sax playing, fly me to the moon, lipstick card still in Mike's wallet. Dawn painted windows tangerine. Chapter debates in the park ended in laughter. June, code footnotes at 5 a.m., lasagna trials at dusk. Alex's alert traced harmless traffic to Icelandic students, partnership formed. July Coney Island Day, quarterly screen-free weekend vowed. August, 2 pink lines, Slack confetti, widget promoted. Titan 2.1 launched climate metrics, storms proved failover. Candlelight lullabies met thunder. Evenings they mapped baby names, Ada, Grace, Linus, sliding sticky notes across the fridge until sleep won softly. Titan Shield second-year sunrise painted dashboards emerald and sapphire. Release 2.0 added quantum-resistant modules, Slack showed rooks in party hats. Phones locked away, ferry ride past Lady Liberty. Ring upgrade of binary stones accepted. Lunch at No Tech Bistro, violin serenade, timeline drafted, mentorship, cottage, Ada maybe. Roof party, drones spelled resilience, Grace toasted light, Jason flaunted textbook galleys. Lipstick scarred card now gold-edged slid into Mike's pocket. Kiss under dissolving drones, next move together. Street sax, unfiltered city noise, lobby screens praising Kenya and Reykjavik, lessons named on stair descent, revolving door exhaling possibility. Outside they let Widget tow them to a halal cart. Over saffron rice they tallied wins, openness affirmed, fellowship funded, Widget mostly civil. Fan mail corkboard, postcard from Ghana, rook drawing from Iowa under an Economist headline. Champagne commas splashed the counter at 1:58, edits done. Strand Books launch, a shy teen asked guarding love question, nightly 3 feeling ritual shared. Winter storms, Titan stabilizing carbon swaps, Ada Grace born December, snow lacquer on skyline. Roof on New Year's Eve, baby monitor, cider, drone spelling open by design. Fireworks blazed, howls rose, Ada slept on, and the city breathed like engine of promise. Steady.